One of the best things that you can do as a leader, as a communicator, is know how to adapt to your audience communication style. Because people are not 100% like you. They don't like the same things that you do. They don't talk the way you do. They're just not you. So if you want to become a better leader and communicator, stay tuned, because in this video, I'll be talking about the different communication styles that you can adapt to. If we have not met before, my name is Kit Pang from BostonSpeaks, and on this channel, I'm here to help you become a confident, engaging, and persuasive speaker. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing for more speaking tips. Now, communication styles, let's jump into it. There are 4 main communication styles, and it's the eagle, owl, peacock, and dove. And let me go into it a little bit more. So the top right, the eagle. These are the people that loves to get down to the point. You don't even have to text them good morning, okay? Forget the emojis, forget the good mornings. Just get down to the point. If they're writing emails, they might just write 1 to 3 lines because they just want it quick. Don't even give them the book. Give them the cliff notes to the book. Now, some of the downsides to the ego, unfortunately, is that they might seem like they lack emotion because they are focused at the task at hand. So if you ever felt like, oh, he or she didn't care about my emotions. No, it's not that they didn't care about your emotions. They were focusing on getting the task done at hand. So you see the owl and eagle on top. They love to control the emotions. It's sometimes hard for them to show emotions. Now on your left side, the owl. Owls are like bakers. Here's step 1, here's step 2, here's step 3. 14 grams of flour exactly. Okay, 14, not 15 grams of flour, 14 grams of flour, step 1, step 2, step 3. So when it comes to owls, some of the downsides to the owls are like, well, why are you going into details so much? Okay, well, that's because it's the way we need to do things. Step 1, step 2, step 3. So I had a client who's more like an owl, email her boss, the eagle. She took maybe 1 hour to write an email, and there were like maybe 3 or 4 paragraphs. And do you know what she got back in return? 2 sentences from the eagle. And she's like, I took an hour to write this email, and all I got back was 2 sentences. So owl and eagle, okay? So sometimes, again, we are stronger, okay? We are stronger in one and then stronger in another. Throughout our lifetime, we will switch back and forth, but usually we have one stronger one and then a stronger one and another one. We can be, for example, eagle and dove, or owl and peacock, or just straight owl and eagle, right? So again, the communication styles on top controls their emotions. Now the peacock, these are people that need to be able to express their emotions. It's not about getting the task done. It's about how we feel about the task. Does this make sense? If we're frustrated, we need to talk about why we're frustrated about the task. It's just not about getting the task done. Well, how do we feel about these tasks? So some of the downsides to the peacock, some people will say, you talk too much. Why are you telling us all your feelings and asking people about their feelings? Well, let's just get the things done. The doves is asking for people's opinions. So for example, what kind of pizza should we have? Should we have mushroom pizza or should we have pepperoni? Let's take a vote. Okay? Whoever got the most votes, whatever pizza got the most votes, well, let's do that pizza because that's what people want. Well, the eagle will say, there's only one way to do it. The dove will say, what do the people want? Now, some of the downsides to the doves are, for example, well, if you think about everyone's opinions, what about your opinion as a dove? Okay, so you see the people on the bottom, they control the doves and peacocks, they express their emotions more. So I'm going to dive into a little bit more. How do you communicate with an eagle? So if you want to communicate with an eagle, you want to focus on the task at hand. You want to talk about the expected results. Get down to the point. Don't argue over details, and you want to be direct. Again, they're not trying to be rude. This is just how they communicate. They're direct. So one of the best ways to use this communication style, it will help you become a better listener. If you open your mind that in the world, there are different types of people. They're not just like you. So for example, if you're talking to your friend, your significant other, your boss, your colleague, How can you be a good listener and say, they're not being rude, or hey, or maybe they're expressing themselves too much, because that's just how they are, okay? They're not trying to annoy you. They're not trying to ruin your life. That's just how they are. So how to communicate with an owl. Be systematic, thorough, deliberate, and precise. And I know some of you watching this are like, oh man, this takes a lot of energy. And that's right, because that's not your natural communication style. Okay, so let's move on. You want to answer how questions. So how do you do this? Right? What are the steps? What are the pros? Right? What are the cons? And then you want to provide analysis and facts. I know, again, some of you are reading this and like, oh man, this takes so much energy. Okay, now some of you, this will take no energy because this is your natural way of communicating, and you want to use evidence. So if you want to communicate with an owl, give a little bit more details, give an agenda, go into the steps 1, 2, and 3. Okay, use evidence, analysis, facts. If you want to communicate with a peacock, now on the opposite side, if you are straight owl and eagle, you're gonna say, oh man, I don't want to do this. Okay, you want to focus, a peacock, focus on developing a relationship. You want to be forthcoming and willing to talk. Okay, willing to talk. I had a client in a workshop, and he said when he first joined that job in that organization, it took so much energy out of him because everyone in the office wanted to talk. They wanted to talk about their feelings, and that was not him. But he noticed that he had to adapt. And after he started adapting a little bit more, he noticed that people started saying yes to him faster. So if you want to become a better communicator, leader, these are the people that you will be working with. These are the people that you will be leading. So how can you communicate to their style to give them what they want? Because people don't care about how much you know, right, until they know about how much you care. And you can care about them by knowing how to communicate. So let's move on. You want to be enthusiastic, open, and responsive. And you want to remember to be warm. You want to talk more about feelings. Again, building relationships, putting in more feelings in there. Now, how do you communicate with the dove? You want to be relaxed and be agreeable. You want to agree often and clearly. So agree clearly and often. Here's what I mean by that. You want to think of improv, yes and. You know how some people, when they just give an idea, they just shut it down? Well, you can also say, that idea, it also helped me think about this. What are your thoughts on that? So instead of saying, no, that's a bad idea, here's what we need to do. Or you can say, hey, you know, I see where you're coming from. Here's what I'm also thinking. What do you think about that? Okay, use the word we. Be a team player. It's just not you, it's us doing it together. And you want to be able to communicate like a team. Use the word we. Now, some of you are looking at the dove and the peacock and you're thinking, oh man, this is so annoying. Well, it should be, because it's not your natural communication style. Okay, so let me go back to the main one here. So we have owl, eagle, dove, and peacock. Now, I know some of you are thinking, well, how do we know if someone's an owl, someone's an eagle, someone's a peacock, or someone is a dove? Here's a tip. Again, it's not 100%, but usually it will work this way. Doves and peacocks, we will never have a notebook. They like to talk a little bit more. They want to build relationships. The questions they ask are, what are your thoughts? How are you feeling about this? Okay, how are you feeling about that? Okay, keyword. How are you feeling about this? Now, the owl and eagle, usually they might have a notebook. Okay, especially the owl. They're going to write down every single thing that you're saying. And the questions that they will start asking are, what else can we do to effectively accomplish this? Okay, why did we fail in doing this? Okay, again, it's about the task at hand. So if you want to be a better communicator, better leader, focus on and you can even focus on the next email. If I'm writing to an owl, how can I write better? Give more steps. Okay, maybe to the eagle, just get down to the point, fast as possible. Peacocks and doves, ask for people's opinion, ask how they're feeling. So if you like this video and these speaking tips, let me know in the comments below, what style do you think you have? What's your strongest one and the second strongest one? And of course, you can watch the rest of these videos to become a better speaker.